Hey, you do you, buddy.
It's like his grades are good, but like got the comments like, yeah, John's not nice to kids and kind of talks over everybody.
Now, this is not me giving him a hard time, but you guys kind of knew that, though, right?
We know. Well, he's a dick to us, but we heard good feedback when he's around like other people.
Okay,
like, we'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah, that is.
Now
good.
it's like starting to seep into other avenues. His dickness. So I laid the law down. Like, you need to do your homework without whining this week, or you're not going to the Blues game Saturday.
Ooh,
yeah.
Going hard at him.
Yeah, and when we got sweet tickets.
Oh, even better.
I'm like, you can even have 2 spoons.
Now, do you have sweet tickets, like sweet, or do you have sweet
We're in
tickets?
the Bud Light zone.
Okay, all right.
Or Bud Light Sweets.
And it is sweet, like
It's just
too sweet. Hey, rest in peace. Did you see the picture of his pallbearers, by the
Yes.
way? I guess we're going to start on that note. Somehow, at some point in all that conversation, I'll cut in probably around the spot where we're talking about your sweet for the game. But look at the slick, wet hair from AJ Styles. But yeah, so we'll probably.
Man, if he didn't have a facial hair, he would look like a woman.
I'm into this feud, by the way. This is Damian Priest and AJ Styles. This is a good one. But not enough of that right now. I'm gonna get us back into the episode because we are gonna talk about wrestling a little bit because of the 3 that's on here. But before we talk about the wrestling a little bit, I've got one story I want to talk about, the spousal abuse from my wife. But before I do that, I noticed your hat, and man, it felt like a very strong chance to take the crucial lead in that game this past weekend between Liverpool and Man City, the hated Man City, and it turned out to be a great game. And I love the reaction of Pepe and Klopp after the game. But what was your? I almost texted you, but in case they did score, I didn't want to jinx it because it got so tight there at the end.
Well, first off, by you mean the Silver Badger. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, Silver Badger. Sorry,
Jay is to my left.
Yes, I'm here too.
Yeah. There's 3 of us today. No Bender. And I guess real quick, let's touch on that before we get back to that question that I asked you. Bender can't come out and play because he's going out of town Thursday, and you all know that the wife requires his 100% attention for the 3 days prior to leaving town.
Well, I live in a very nice glass house, so I won't be throwing any stones.
That's the best answer I could have hoped for out of that.
Exactly. So, no, I mean, it felt like a prize fight. And that's what made the game so unique. I think that...
It felt like the final of the Champions League. I mean, it felt really good.
You know, do you guys listen to Men in Blazers at all? Or
No.
know who they are? Mm-hmm. They're 2 British guys.
In Blazers?
They are in Blazers, hence Men in Blazers. Great guys, very funny. They say it's like the English Classico. I mean, these are 2 of the best teams. There hasn't been a rivalry like this in the Premier League since Chelsea, Man U back with Sir Alex and Jose Mourinho were coaching.
And it's been going on for a few years now, too.
About 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's the 2 best teams. There's not like a lot of animosity. Klopp and Pep.
The only animosity they had ever was when Man City won the EPL, but Liverpool won the Champions League, and Pep took a shot saying, I bet he would trade 3 of those championships for an EPL championship.
Yeah.
And Klopp retorted, but it was friendly jabs back and forth.
Yeah.
But that was the closest they've come because it's hard to argue with a Klopp. He's such a nice guy.
Everybody loves Jurgen. It's impossible not to love the big teddy bear who also screams German at you. It's like if a Care Bear mixed with Hitler. Like, you know? They might yell at you in German, but they'll give you a big hug afterwards. Liverpool started out a little sloppy in the first half and gave up a quick goal, go down 1-0 and kind of ride their feet. Like I said, it was like a prize fight. I felt like, of course, since I'm the Liverpool fan and they were probably the underdog since they were going into the Etihad, it was like watching a Rocky movie. Man City was throwing their best punches and Liverpool was definitely staggering, but at the end came out, that final round and Rocky, come on.
I got scared in that last 5 minutes from how many chances that Man City started putting on them.
Yeah.
Their pressure was a little bit better in that final. But I can tell you, I didn't get to turn on until the tying goal. Mm-hmm. And I watched it from that point on, but it was fun soccer. For people that are on the fence about whether soccer's and being in St. Louis, I feel like it's we've got a lot of those people like, well, we're getting a team, but do I want to really be a fan of the team? You got to watch games like that to make you fall in love with soccer. I mean, by all means, the Chelsea Liverpool game we all went and watched.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you right now, we've got to determine what our Black Friday plans are for England USA.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Black Friday, so we're not doing anything. Wives may be shopping or something like that.
Women be shopping.
Women
be shopping.
Here's what women do. Women shop. So we're going to be watching some soccer that day. So I'm excited about it.
And I don't know Jay's backstory on soccer. I'd love to hear it.
It's dark and twisted.
Yeah, very.
Great backstory.
Yeah.
Reading to avenge your father through a little ticky-tack stuff.
When he was a kid, his dad took him to a game, and when they were leaving through the alley, someone tried to rob them and shot his dad.
Ooh.
And now he is the
he
soccer
was wearing
avenger.
A Mexican national.
That's it. That's it. And so
some pearls.
That's right. It's a pearls.
For the casual fan who's really on the fence about getting into English Premier League soccer or any kind of soccer, really, the World Cup is the best time to get involved in it. And now the U.S. has qualified. I mean, I don't care if it's U.S. curling. If somebody's wearing the stars and stripes, I'm getting into it,
Well, you're a patriot.
I'm a patriot.
Cute American right now.
That's not a good term anymore.
It isn't?
No, it's they took it away from us in 2017.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Unfortunately, just like the homosexuals took gay from us in the 70s.
It used to be awesome.
It used to be a great word. I had a gay old time.
Yeah.
Can't say retard anymore?
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about the other term for cigarettes.
Yes, we're not allowed to say that. But yeah, I mean, it's like I know Jeremy's got the Niners for the NFL. I don't know if Jay. I don't think you have an NFL team.
He's a Cardinal
It's
fan.
kind of hard to organically jump feet into a team, but look, the best thing about the English Premier League is, hey, it's Saturday or Sunday. You're hungover. You got the kids. You can't go anywhere. Throw that game on. Throw on some coffee. Have a little bacon and eggs. And watch a little.
Well, and
footy.
honestly, for a guy like Jay, who works from home during the week, and you usually isolate yourself, even those championship league games during the weekdays, or those your country games that are on during the daytime, those are even good. I love those. Like, I love a weekday game.
Yeah, I'll throw those on every once in a while.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's nothing like in American sports the passion of the English Premier League soccer fan. I think the closest would be maybe like SEC college football.
Yeah.
But, baseball fans, unless it's like the World Series, they're not getting really, really into it, shouting and cheering.
Well, we just know now. I have been lucky enough to go to a game at New York from between Boston and New York. They do get into the shouting, and I have been a part of some Cardinal games with the Cubs shouting. But realistically, even the dumbest baseball fan knows we got 161 more of these, so that we don't need to blow our load until it's playoff time.
Well, just like the songs these clubs come up with and they're singing in the stands, I mean, they're pretty creative. And I believe they call it cheeky over there.
Cheeky,
across the
cheeky.
pond.
I also think they say they're a bunch of good cunts over there.
Do they have the beer cup snake, though, like the XFL thing?
I don't think they do. No, actually, I believe in a lot of the stadiums you can drink in the concourse, you can't take the beer outside.
Well, because the hooligans. The hooliganism is a problem. I watched let me rephrase. I watched an interesting movie that I enjoyed called Furiosa, not Furiosa like from Mad Max.
Yeah.
But it's a new to Netflix, and it's a Polish movie. It's dubbed, obviously, for here, and it's all about some hooligans and how they run security for the town. That's how they make money, or they steal stuff. But they get in trouble by when the team plays bad. They go and beat up a couple of players of the team to send a message to them and stuff like that. And it's
Well, it worked for the Colombian national team of Escobar.
Oh, yeah, that worked great.
They won a couple World Cups after his tactics, right? I believe.
Yeah, I think somebody got beheaded, right? A coach? Was it a coach or was it a ref?
The player. He gave up the own goal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He got
the US
beheaded,
win.
yeah.
He was in Escobar, too, wasn't he?
I believe he was because they did a 30 for 30, the tale of the two Escobars.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So it was a good Sunday though of watching soccer. But let me tell you what happened over my weekend real quick. And this is my spousal abuse story. So I've been going to the chiropractor and I've been going to the doctor rehabbing for my back for the disc. Well, for whatever reason, like I got upper back pain, like just out of nowhere Saturday. But it kind of occurred like almost like a rib out of place because I was having trouble taking deep breaths. Just uncomfortable, pain I could deal with. But I was starting to bitch about it a little bit. We decided as a family to go. I wish Kaylin was down here when I told this story because she really sells it. So we decided to go to the Loop because Kaylin wanted to go to Vintage Vinyl. I wanted to go to the comic book store. I thought, well, shit, I'll go there, go here, and then Hayden had a soccer game in the evening. We'll come back and we'll go to soccer. It'll be a good day. We ate downtown at the Loop, and we went into a couple of stores that we'd never been into. So, I enjoy the Loop. I think it's a fun little walk.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got no direction and you're going to have a couple of beers. I really like the iTap that's in the loop. It's cool. I did buy a new vinyl. I bought the Tattooed album for Sublime. It's one I didn't have for vinyl. Kaylin bought Frank Ocean, I believe. She has 42 vinyls. I have 21. She's doubled me up.
Wow.
Yeah. But so we had a good day, but I'm getting out of the car, man, and my back's hurting, and we turn on the street, and we're just walking along. I go, God, man, I wish my back hurt. I shit you not. My wife hauled off and punched me square in the fucking back, middle of my upper back. Just bam! And I got so goddamn mad, but I got so mad I wanted to hit her back, but I can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the fuck? You know? And I turned and go, what were you thinking? And Kayla just started dying laughing. And Missy, and so much so we just got in an argument over this now. She swears up and down she thought that it would pop my back. And I'm like, that is the complete and utter horse shit. You just took the opportunity to punch me. And she's like, no, just because you don't think it would work didn't mean it wouldn't work. I go, I believe the fact that I'm in pain and it didn't work is proof that it didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Has your wife ever punched you punched you?
No.
Like, not out of hate, because that would be a fight. You know, that's a different story. We had to report you guys.
Yeah.
But like, surprise hit, anything? Just mine. My North County raised wife is the only one that punches out of excessiveness.
I got smacked one time. She was joking around and didn't mean to hit me hard and really got me.
Yeah.
My kids do that all the time.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple low blows from the boys, but I've never been hit by the wife.
Yeah, it wasn't. The problem with that is she accidentally hit you, and the good thing, I mean, your boys hitting you or the girls hitting you, yeah, that happens. My wife intentionally punched me in the fucking, and she goes, "Oh, it wasn't that hard." And I tried to, and you know when my daughter's on my side, because it's not that she won't agree with me, but she pleads the fifth.
Yeah.
She goes, I go, Kaylin, how hard was it? And she goes, I don't remember. I'm like, you remember everything about it. Or everything about it. Did I ever tell you about, speaking of your boys hitting you, about me hitting my dad when I was a kid?
No.
Well, so we used to, my family was rough. We fought.
Yeah,
we fought.
Oh, that is canon.
When we wrestled, we fought. So we're in, my dad used to have this brown van, a murder van, you know, the kind that had the beds in the back.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're wrestling. We're outside a store waiting on somebody, and he's back there wrestling me, and I was wiry. And my hand slipped out, and he was trying to hold it back, and I was trying to pull it out hard. And when it slipped out, I tattooed him and knocked 4 of his teeth out.
Oh,
like clean out, like blood everywhere. He was proud of me. He got false teeth, and a year later, another wrestling match, and I guess I had like a shark in the water, had a smell of blood. And same thing happened. We're wrestling, and I got free, and I come right over the top, and I cracked his fucking false teeth right in half. I had to have hit the same spot twice. Perfect. Tattooed it. And his friends were making fun of him, and you're like, well, I guess he's got good targeting ability, but that's never happened, right? In your family?
No. My last time my dad put his hands on me, I was in 8th grade, and my brother and I got in a fight, and I just cold cocked my, little brother, yip, 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 and just went, boom! Just brought all the weight behind it. He went down like a sack of potatoes, and then like, you know that like when you're a kid, you done fucked up when the kid's like, he's holding his face, and then like it's a slow one,
yeah,
and that's when I was like, oh shit, he actually hurt him.
And then you're immediately.
My dad comes down and goes, what happened? And my brother was like, he hit me. My dad grabbed him on my collar and threw me against the wall. Was like, next time you want to tango, I'm ready. And I think I pissed myself a little bit.
I was gonna say your wheels immediately started spinning. How can I spin this where it wasn't my fault? As his dad's walking down.
I don't know if I could kick my dad's ass now. It looks like it'd be 50-50, man. He still lifts weights and shit. It's 68.
Also, probably a little bit of an indictment on you.
Well, it's more of an indictment on me, probably. Yeah. But it was like when we played basketball as kids too. He'd be like just talking trash and like, you ain't ready to beat the old man yet. And I get in my head.
Now you could beat him at basketball.
He was like,
what
I would hope.
My mom. I'm pretty sure we've mentioned in the podcast. My mom historically would trash me and my brother because she was so much smaller and we were both big guys. She would hit us with frying pans. She broke my finger one time wrestling because I had her and wouldn't let her go, so she grabbed my pinky and just broke it.
Damn!
Yeah.
Whoa.
She's punched me and my brother in the nuts multiple times. Like, hard. Like, so much so that when I started dating Missy, she was convinced we were never going to have kids because of the amount of nut shots that I've taken over the years from sports, from my mom, from playing the cup check game. We used to, me and John Shannon, all of us, we'd be go camping or we'd be drinking. We would always ask who your favorite GM in all of sports is, and somebody go, who? Mitch, cup check, and drill somebody in the nuts because we thought we were clever. And so it was a rough life. It's certainly though. It's been years since I've had any kind of that roughness. Like, my girls have never beat me up. My fucking wife did it when I wasn't looking, of all things, too. Just sucker punched me square in the middle of the back.
Normally, pop your back, it's just pick you up and kind of shake you, not cold cocky in the back.
Punching you square in the back.
Yeah.
Like, next time she has, like, she's got, like, hiccups or something, I'm going to punch her in the stomach. It's like, I swear to God, I thought that was going to help.
Well, this was quite the backstory to abuse of your family.
Yeah, we backed our way into knowing how brutal it was growing up with me. I mean, my grandpa had a black paddle with holes drilled in it named Felix, and he used to whoop the shit out of us. Let me rephrase it. He used to whoop the shit out of me, and I'm fairly certain I'm the only one that did have it coming because I was the youngest boy, so I was the asshole, and my brother was the oldest, and by the time he got big, you weren't using a paddle on him, but I sure... it was no problem for me from like 8 to 11. Jim's getting his ass whooped. And I had it coming. But anyway, what about you, Jay? How's the week been for you?
Oh, it's been uneventful compared to all this.
I'm about to say.
Yeah. All started with my wife punching me.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass.
He was a pain in the back.
What a real bitch, am I right?
Women be hitting.
Yeah,
women be hitting.
I'm just trying to think. I think the closest I've ever been in that situation is I punched my brother in the nose about 10 years ago. We went down to the lake after work one day. I'd worked like 10 or 12 hours. I was exhausted, played with my daughter for a little bit, fell asleep on the floor.
Now, what was your job at this point?
I was doing UAT testing.
Okay.
So, like, if something's wrong, we have to work ungodly hours to get it fixed.
Staring at a screen, which I'm not even giving crap. It can be exhausting.
Yeah.
10 hours of looking at a computer screen without moving is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I fell asleep in the middle of the floor, and he came up, and he just smacked me in the chest. And just out of reaction...
Wait, did he at least say, woo?
No, he didn't.
No.
He was the one in the wrestling, though.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what was going on. I hopped up, and I just punched. He's a little bit taller than me, so I thought I was going to get him square in the chest. Well, he decided to sit back down in the chair, and I got him square in the nose.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Like, so you felt bad?
Oh, I felt horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. That's the difference between me and my brother. If it was an accident, we'd have been like, yeah, I meant to do it.
Yeah.
The funniest time I ever abused a woman, I was at a party in college, and we were all sitting around like a living room, and this girl was like, hey, Hummel, hit me. And I go, all right. And so I threw a full beer can at her, and she missed. Boom, Marsha Brady style. I felt horrible.
Hey, she did say hit
She
me.
did, and there was minimal blood. And
did you put some stink on it?
I put a little, well, it was
a little more
probably,
mustard than you expected.
It's about 18 feet away.
And you were drunk.
I was drunk, but
So,
I mean, it was...
You didn't know your own strength.
I zipped it in there, baby.
I threw her a fastball.
Yeah, she wasn't on the hands team, apparently.
Maybe she...
I mean, like, she couldn't... Like, it was like a field goal. Like, she put her hands up, went through the hands, and just smoked her, like, right on the top of her nose.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a tough one.
She had a couple black eyes.
I think you had just this last week off, right? That's all? You were here the week before that? Me and you? It was just me and you?
Yeah, I've only missed 1 week. Yeah. That's like a record.
Yeah, so what's been that 2 weeks like for you?
Oh, I made my return to Mother's Brewing this past
Springfield,
week.
Mo?
Yeah, they've, I haven't been, over 2 years.
No more prehistoric brewing company in Springfield.
I saw that.
Damn, that sucks. So, yeah, they've cleaned up. When was the last time you guys were there?
It's been a while since I've been to Mother's.
The yard looks nicer.
Yeah.
The beers were pretty good.
Their beers used to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And when last time I was in Springfield, I not only did I stop at Prehistoric, but I stopped at the Brown Derby because I love the Brown Derbies.
Okay.
And I told them how much I used to love Mother's and how it's slipped over the last few years. They go, well, about 4 or 5 years ago, the original brewer left.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, that makes more sense.
Yes. It's like Schlafly, where I've never had anything bad, but another thing I've ever been like, hey, guys, you got to try this.
Yeah.
But Schlafly's like my beer brand, you know?
Oh, shit. When you need another beer, I'll let you get it. Because so you can pull out what you brought. Okay. Yeah, so good. But speaking of that, but not Schlafly, but
yeah. Let's see. Oh, a funny tale, if you will. You guys will laugh.
Well, that's kind of what I've been fishing for.
Yes. No, you don't want serious tales? It won't entertain anybody.
I only take, in addition to funny tales, the other tales I'll take are American tales, duck tales. What other kind of tales? Tall tales, I'll take.
Oh.
And even fairy tales, but no serious tales.
Love it. Or violence.
Yeah, or violence, yeah.
So, Thursday night, I'm staying in Jeff City, and I don't know if you guys know Jeff City too well, but I'm like out kind of in the suburbs, not downtown. Didn't feel like driving all the way to the Capitol, so I just go to the Buffalo Wild Wings off 54. And it's the, Cardinal crowd is still in there, and it's like, go sit at the bar. I'm like, all right, I got a choice between sitting by two Hoosiers or sitting by the old guy. I went with the old guy.
That's always a good one.
It was a bad choice.
Oh, really?
He would not shut the fuck up. He talked to me for an hour straight, which at first was fine. He was telling me all about his jury duty case. And then he started
going... a murder case?
It was not. It was somebody got fucked over by, I want to say Ameren.
Clearly the man.
Clearly the man. He's like, and I'm going to pay him. I'm like, good for you, sir. So then he had a couple beers, and then he started getting a little racist, as old men are wont to do. Yeah. So he's like, who's the Cleveland Guardians? Like, well, they had to get rid of the Indians. He's like, you know where this is going. He's like, I don't know why they got rid of the Washington Redskins. It weren't like they were called the New York N-words. Oh. Except he didn't say N-word.
Yeah.
Real awkward.
He's in Jeff City, though.
So I'm like, I can't wait for this to end. Where's the check? And so then he starts going off on Joe Biden. Surprise, surprise. And he's like, he's a nice enough guy, but just remember, it reminds me of those gas lines in the 70s. Remember that with Carter? I go,
yeah, I do. You should have said, I didn't get my license till 82.
Yeah. I go, no. He goes, well, you want to be at least driving? We were, 13, 14 in 78? I go, how old do you think I am? It's like, I don't know. I paid you like 60. I'm like, dude, I'm 40. He's like, oh.
Again, the second indictment on Tom in this episode.
Yeah, and I text my wife who like hates my hair, my beard right now. I'm like, I'm going to men's hair salon here in the next week or two. It's like, oh yeah, your beard and you got so much gray. I'm like, okay, like whatever.
I'm gonna describe what we got here, and then I'll let Jay tell you.
I think we have Lovin'.
Why we got it.
What? Remember that
always.
What is it?
Love is what I got.
Okay, that's the album I bought.
I know, right? I mean, come on. That's a segue of segues.
Well, that's a good one. So we've got a beer from Four Hands. It is a 222. It is a barrel-aged stout with a little cacao. Isn't that how you pronounce it?
Cacao.
Cacao. It's the French pronunciation for
cocoa. That's how Rob Riggle would pronounce it.
Yeah. Cacao. Or David Keckner would be like, cacao! It's with cacao and coffee. This is probably going to be a pretty stout. It's an imperial milk stout brewed exclusively for our friends at Schnucks Markets. Was aged in freshly emptied bourbon barrels with, I almost said epitome for whatever reason, bourbon barrels with coffee and chocolate. Expect notes of rich espresso and bittersweet cacao balanced by a lingering fudgy malt sweetness. Nobody ever wants to hear the terms lingering fudgy malt other than in beer.
Yeah.
Good point. So now, what is the significance of 222? Just because of the?
I think that's the day they probably bottled it.
I guess because it's cute, because it's all twos.
Yeah. It was all twos, and they had some kind of deal with Schnucks for it.
But I'll let Jay take it from here.
So on your birthday, I said next time we got together for a podcast, I'd bring something special. So I had this sitting in there.
Well, that is a delight, sir.
So cheers.
Cheers, my friends.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this Untapped glass I got here, I have two of them, and they were free because I ordered the ones that I have with the logos on it.
Yeah.
It smells very chocolatey.
And they sent me the wrong one, so I sent them a picture, said, you sent me the wrong ones. They said, keep them, we'll send you more. So
nice.
Oh, what do you think?
That is a delight.
It's really good.
That's really, really good.
Well, it's been a while.
It's like drinking a Luther Vandross album. It's so damn smooth.
Yeah.
Maybe some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross. How's the rest of that go? You know that we'll definitely set this party off right. That Kanye song, that original Kanye, his first hit, like really wasn't. I think.
Speaking of songs that are not in my wheelhouse, are you guys playing Hurdle?
No, I told you why I didn't play it.
Because you're old?
No, because it messed up on me like 2 days in a row where it didn't switch the song. And so I would guess the song that it was playing to me, and then it would say, no, it's this song. But it was like hung up, so I'm like, well, fuck you. If you can't get your shit together, I don't want to play you. I'll probably go back to it.
I've never tried it. I've never done Wordle either.
I think you missed the boat on that.
Yeah. I'm just holding out because everyone's posted on Facebook. I'm just like, I don't want to be part of it.
On my buddies. Now, I only posted out when I got 1 and 2 one time, and then I have a buddy from high school who's a former newspaper editor, and he's good. So if I beat him, I feel really good about myself.
Yeah.
And he plays it where if you do it in 4, that's if you do it in 3, it's a birdie, in 4, it's a par, and then it's bogey, double bogey to get them all. And he always has golf analogies on it, so I like his. So I that's the only person I don't like the sharing of it either.
See, I got to the point where it's like Fast and Furious. I'm just not doing it out of spite of everybody else.
I didn't know, and it's funny that Bender never called me out on it, but for the first time it was brought up on this podcast, I said, yeah, well, after you guys talked about it, I played like 20 of them yesterday. And Bender was like, oh, yeah, it's addictive. I was using the wrong website. It was a imposter Wordle website because you could play just as many as you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then I was like, why do people keep sharing it? Because we know what the fuck they're doing anyway.
Yeah.
And then I found out I was using the wrong one, and now it makes all the sense in the world to me.
See, what I should do, since I get up so early, I should play it, get the word, and just post it on Facebook and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, ruin it. That'd be a dick move.
It would be.
I'd be like back in my experience of my life. We walked out of the first showing in Joplin of Independence Day, and we just walked through all these hordes and hordes of people sitting in line talking about how the aliens won. And people were so mad at me and Dwayne. But we were giant young kids, and nobody was stopping us from talking about it.
So I found this clickbait article about Infinity War and Endgame, about this guy that went on Instagram and spoiled Infinity War the day it came out. And this guy got pissed about it. So he befriended the guy on Instagram, actually became really good friends with him somehow, went and saw Endgame before the guy, and then DM'd him every single spoiler.
The long game there. Yes. You got to respect that kind of hate.
That is one kind of endgame.
And this guy's like, yeah. This guy's like, why did you do that? And he's like, because a year ago you posted all this stuff about Infinity Wars and spoiled it all for me.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a kind of defiance that you can respect, man. That is heavy. That guy's awesome. That guy might be my new hero.
Yeah. If anyone did that to me, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, but the patience that comes with that, waiting and befriending him and putting up with his bullshit, because I'm sure a guy was a dick in real life and wanted to talk about a bunch of movies.
It's like the nerdy version of the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That absolutely is. Yeah, nice one. So, all right, well, this is a fantastic beer. We haven't done this in a while. Let's give it a rating, and we'll start with the guy whose beer it's here in celebration of, Tommy.
Damn, man.
Was that did I put you
I
on
think
the spot?
4.5 out of 5.
That's what I think too.
But I also have been listening to a podcast called The Wrestling Brain, and the 4.5 out of 5 is the Coward's 5.
Oh,
I'm gonna go 5 out of 5.
I like that. Well, I feel like I didn't mean to jump the gun on you, but I feel like I'm not a coward. I was gonna say 4, and it's a solid 4 for me.
I was gonna say 4.5, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, right. Because if we learn anything about pro wrestling, that if you're going to take the coward's way out, by God, you sell being a coward every week to get over as the best heel in the company.
He's a heel.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, well, let's quit beating around the bush and let's jump into pop culture, but let's kind of our unofficial throw it to Missy segment, since she's never here and it's now taken over just to be in the second half of our show period.
We need a new name then.
Well, we'll call
it's the punch Jeremy in the back.
Yeah. Let's pop his back. So what I wanted to talk about, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on wrestling, but I did want to start with a wrestling topic. And Jay and I talked about it before the tape was rolling. How awesome is Wheeler Yuta right now?
He's pretty
in the AEW and Ring of Honor world. I had to look up what the Pure Championship meant.
I don't know what it means, actually.
So it's modified rules. You get 3 rope breaks. So if you're in a submission move and you grab the ropes, that's your first one.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't even have to be a submission move, if you grab the ropes, it counts. They have to break whatever they're doing to you.
But you have to be in a hole, though.
I don't think necessarily.
If you go to the ropes to like, you remember, like if somebody's trying to punch you and you duck through the ropes, that's a rope break.
Okay.
So.
Or they're going belly to back suplex and you grab the ropes.
Oh,
you have to break
like
it.
That, yeah.
But like if someone tries to throw you out of the ring, you skin the cat to stay in the ring. That does not count.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. So
Yeah,
okay.
it's been a while since I've seen a match.
There's a couple other rules to it.
But like if you're being choked down and you've grabbed it 3 times, you grab it, they hold it. You have to tap.
Huh. I like it.
So he's got the Pure Championship right now. I don't remember what the other rules were, but that was the main one.
I'm looking it up. Here's what the Pure Wrestling rules. 1, each wrestler has 3 rope breaks. We got that. 2, there are no closed fist punches to the face. 3, a wrestler is subject to a 20 count by the referee if he goes to the floor. And it's the pure rules. Mm-hmm. And so he won that with the Ring of Honor coming back and what it's doing, which is a big deal. I mean, it's a title, but it's a mid-card title.
Sure.
But the week he won it, he came back and did the main event on the B show for Rampage. But it was not only just the match of the week for AEW, but it might be early candidate for match of the year. It was a great fucking match. A lot of color.
Yeah.
And we've been a little critical of AEW's use of color.
Yeah.
But it was good even though the spot it was used, I did like the stomp. It was clearly a blade job. I mean, you could see because of how quick it came out.
Yeah.
But it sold the fighting from the bottom, and he got great baby face, he fired up, and it was a lot of, and Moxley, I even texted you guys, they book into that show with the Blackpool Combat Club, and those two guys are on another level right now in working a match, in psychology.
Yeah. No, I mean, so that kind of leads me into a segment I had for you that I shamelessly stole from this wrestling wearing show. Okay. The game they play, many of the games they play, is called Push, Hold, or Bury.
Okay. Right? I get the premise of that.
All right. So, it's going to be 3 tag teams, and you rank them push, hold,
okay. So
or
push
bury
them to the championship, hold them where they are on the card, or bury them and never hear from them again.
Wrestling version of Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
Red Dragon.
Okay.
FTR.
Well, you got the hardest one ever. Okay, I got it, though.
Okay.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm going to push Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
I'm going to hold FTR where they are because where they are is fucking amazing.
Okay.
And they're already at the top of the card. So and then I'm going to bury Red Dragon because I'm now Adam Cole. I'm sort of in on.
I think you're legally allowed it.
Yeah. Bebe. I'm in on him. I'm not in on the stable right now. So of those 3, that's the one I'd bury.
I would agree with that.
FTR is just so good right now.
Yeah. I mean, of all the weeks to have that match with the Young Bucks and then have it overshadowed completely, it just seems wrong.
Well, and even the internet wrestling community, or at least the version of it that where the Bleacher Report resides, they even said, the only thing that sucked this week is that the best tag match we've had of this year was overshadowed by the most surprise entrant to stardom we've ever seen from AEW. And, and for the people saying that they can't grow their own stars, they turned him into a star.
Let's see what the follow-up looks like.
Oh, it's got to be something good.
Yeah.
He's got clearly in the Combat Club now is where it's going to have to go.
So it's obviously going to be someone with best friends. Probably Trent.
Yeah, they've been teasing that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Do best friends turn heel?
I tell you what, their gimmick would make them a good heel team.
Yeah.
The hug after like some dirty cheating and stuff, that would be fun. That'd be fun.
It might be hard to push him right now with Orange Cassidy out, though.
Well, that's the best time to make him heel is when Cassidy's out and he comes back and he's the ultimate loner.
Yeah.
Yep. That could be good. All right, so your next one.
Okay.
Speaking of Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
Who should take the belt off of Scorpio Sky? Wheeler Yuta, Darby, or Sammy getting his win back?
I'm going to go. You go first this time. I went first last time.
I was going to say Wheeler because Darby's been there, and I really can't stand Sammy right now.
I'm going to agree with you. Sammy's Ty Conte on-screen persona and his gimmicks DXian in execution aren't very entertaining to
It
me.
will work if they embrace it and be a heel. But because this is wrestling. Has a romance ever worked except for when Macho and Liz got back together? That's the only time people cheered for it.
Fans are turning on them apparently because they're editing out the boos.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, well, they ruined it. They ruined it by bringing her into it, and and the smart marks knew what happened with his previous girlfriend, and
he just proposed
his
to
fiance
her in October.
Yeah,
on air.
Yeah, and look, you made the right choice. So let's be frank, but
let's be honest.
Let's be honest. You can't rub people's noses in it.
Yeah. So there's a lot that went with that, and I'm going to say Wheeler because Darby has had that title, and he did that title justice. But there's Darby. Darby's like Jake the Snake. He don't need a title to be relevant. And Wheeler, that could be the next big thing for Wheeler, especially putting him into that. That could be like. They're going to say, like for instance, Blackpool could say, we do want you in, but you've got our respect. Now you got to earn your spot, and earning a spot would be go to capture a title in this company.
Yep.
And for it to come out of nowhere would be awesome. Like to just, surprise match or winning the match on something crazy and then getting it. That said, I think Scorpio Sky's been good performer lately too. I don't like his stable.
There's just something off with him.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know. Is it just the promos aren't that great?
I don't think he can work the mic. He needs Ethan Page to do it. He doesn't need Dan Lambert.
Ethan Page to me is clearly the charismatic MVP of that group.
Yes.
He's the much better one. Scorpio Sky's got a great moveset.
They have moved on from. I know it's no longer X-Pac heat. It's solid heat now. I think.
Yeah.
Because they were matched up with Cody and Brandy, who were.
Now, do you got one more for us?
I do.
One more. Let's go.
All right. As you know, that there's going to start being more and more crossover with ROH. Mm-hmm. Who should have the ROH title first of these three men? Christian.
Okay.
Miro when he comes back.
Okay.
Or Joe.
Okay. Since he went first last time, I'll go first. And I'm going to answer it from not who should have it, but who's going to have it. It's going to be Joe. Joe's going to get that title. I think because it makes sense because it's very much a Samoa Joe return home kind of thing. I think Miro would be a great choice. In fact, I think a Joe Miro feud would be a great feud. And then Christian, I don't know what they're going to do with Christian, man, because I don't see him legit.
Oh, he's turned as soon as the Jurassic Express lose the belts, he's turning heel, and him and Jungle Boy will have a single.
He may be the reason they lose the belts, which I'll be okay with. But Christian clearly. He's Captain Charisma when he's a bad guy. He started hot and he came in with the same kind of momentum that CM Punk's been able to continue, although wrestling mid-carder matches, except for MJF. Wrestling those young guys. Christian came in doing that. It just went nowhere. And with Punk, it's kind of went somewhere. Did
he, though? Because he started out right away with Omega.
He did start out with Omega, and that was big. But
then I don't know if he's been hurt or something, because he hasn't wrestled a whole lot.
He wrestled one time in the last 2-3 months, hasn't he? And that was recently.
Twice now.
Is it?
Yeah.
If I was going to be Mr.
Both are recent.
Yeah.
If I'm doing fantasy booking, what I would do is have Hangman lose at at Double or Nothing to Punk. Mm-hmm. Then he can start a feud with Jericho to get his win back.
Yeah.
And just kind of keep him off the title for about a year.
Yeah.
And then, do elite stuff eventually. You have Joe and Punk for the title at All Out.
Which is a great...
That would be awesome. And then you have Christian win. He turns heel. He beats them up. He goes a separate way. He wins the ROH title. And then you have Jungle Boy go after the ROH title at All Out. I'm a fucking dork.
Yeah. I got to tell you, like I said... don't get me wrong. We were all in on Hangman at Page. That they clearly lost the steam.
Honestly, I think it's the booking.
It's got to be.
I think the fans are still behind them. But
it's the booking, and it's not just the booking, but they're creative. Like the booking, the matches haven't been booked well. And I'll be honest, they could have. They could have turned it up with the Murder Hawk, the Murder Bird, as someone called him on TV last week.
I got to say, what's been really Cole's been really disappointing.
Cole's been disappointing, and to me, Page is Mike's stuff has been disappointing because there's nothing there.
Well, they never let him talk.
Yeah.
When he came out and challenged, I got a little goosebump action when he's like, "Oh, by the way, you might want to settle your affairs." That was good shit.
Yeah.
They don't give him. Here's the thing. I don't think they have enough faith in him.
That might be
every
it.
promo, because he's never going to be Stone Cold.
No.
On the mic, he's never going to be The Rock. But he could, when he gives a passionate promo, I'm going to give you my blood, I'm going to give you my sweat, and I'm probably one way that I'm going to give you my tears. That is a great promo.
Yeah.
But they cut him off all the time because, maybe they're going to do the whole, he doesn't believe in himself again angle, which
I don't want to see that again.
I don't either.
He's been the champ. He beat the greatest performer on the planet when he beat him.
Oh, and here's the problem. He came in after Kenny, and even if Kenny's not wrestling every week, he's a presence on TV.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that every week with Hangman.
Yes. Well, one thing Cornette and his little buddy talk about all the time is one of the things that made, Russo, for all of his problems, one of the things he did well was the backstage segments where he would have Stone Cold on 3 times throughout the night, 4 times throughout the night. With the exception of MJF, nobody's on a second time usually.
Yeah.
And you're there to build characters week after week after week. When you see, if you're a Punk guy and he's in the opening match, he's not coming back again. You might be like, we'll see him next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing I like AEW's doing, but I don't know if they rely on it too much, is the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So being the Elite is awesome, and you get a lot of story there, but if you don't watch it, you don't necessarily know what they're building to slowly.
And do you guys watch Dark Elevation?
No.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay, I don't.
They're Matt Cardona in it. They rely too much on guys going out and getting over on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he just collected his 6th championship.
7th.
And he posted, he goes, "Guys, stop letting me wrestle your champs. It's enough already. My bag's way too much at the airport."
So he has 7 belts right now.
7 belts for 7 different promotions.
So
right
he's
now.
doing the belt color.
Yeah.
And he came in and had the match on AEW and then disappeared. I tell you what, it'd be a nice slow play on him collecting belts to come back in the spotlight because the internet wrestling community loves him.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about it. He did a 90-day contract, and Tony was like, "Thanks, but no thanks." But there was no bad blood. He wisely didn't trash the promotion.
Yeah.
No, and if I'll be honest, I think he's smart enough to know by doing what he's doing, it could be a bigger storyline for them.
Yeah.
And but anyway, let's get off of wrestling. Unless you got anything else to add, and let's go to Jay's first topic.
So I watched the Tony Hawk documentary.
I did as well.
God, it was so good.
Yeah, me and Missy watched it.
There was a lot of rehash in it, but it's always fun to see him out there and hear his story.
Yeah, it's what was good about it and what I enjoyed about it, and I almost, for like 3/4 of it, thought that they weren't going to do this. Tony Hawk's been married 4 times.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I didn't think that they were going to touch on it, and they did a good job kind of glazing over it, and then suddenly in the last third of the movie, he talked about, he goes, because of my, the way I went about, robotic way I went out about skateboarding, when it cost me a lot of fans at the beginning because everybody hated me, and they did hate him. When he was a kid, I for one, was a Christian Asoy guy. I was like, Tony Hawk's a skinny punk, and Christian Asoy gets all the style, all the air. He's the best skater in the world. Anyway, Tony Hawk's been the best skater since he was 14 years old on the planet.
Yeah.
And he, he talked about it. He goes, but the way he even stepped away from the sport, and then he became famous again. And then when he became super famous, he kind of let that get away from him. And he said, I made a lot of bad decisions to a lot of good people, and he got into it. He went into rehab. He although he didn't say the words rehab, because I checked into a clinic, and he got good with his kids again, found a new woman, said, and he said, I know I can make a relationship work because the determination, the drive, and my ability to stick to a schedule with skateboarding, I could take that in my personal life. And he had never done that. So they got into the dark stuff, which was awesome.
They talked a lot about his dad, too, and the influence he had.
His dad. See, and a lot of people didn't know until you watch that documentary. His dad, probably as much as Tony Hawk impact he had on pro skateboarding, his dad equally did.
Yeah.
Because when he found out his son wanted to do it, his dad was like, well, if he's going to do it, I'm going to make sure it's on the up and up. And he created a skateboard organization to start creating rankings and doing these competitions.
That's cool.
And he was the head of it all.
Yeah.
So Tony Hawk got a lot of shit from
and people hated Tony because they were like, well, the only reason you're winning is because your dad.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
And then it drove a rift between them. He said, I do better when you're not at these tournaments. And so he could not go, but he actually, when they were there, it was like, he's not my son.
Yeah.
We just weren't together. So.
And it talked to his siblings about like the impact it had on the whole family, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
This whole side of it that you don't normally see.
By the way, his youngest sister was 14 years older than him.
Yeah.
So, and he had 3 siblings, and his youngest one was, so his parents had him when they were 45.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't have he didn't have any, by no means was he a deprived kid. They supported him, but emotionally, it kind of, you could see how it led him to be where he was. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, like I was talking to Missy, I said it's funny that because Rodney Mullins on there, he's like I guess if there's a comparison in any other sport to him, it would be like that mythical surfing figure that surfs the North Shore in Hawaii. Nobody ever talks to him, but he's out there doing his thing. Rodney Mullins is a skateboarder who's considered the god of freestyle. He's a super genius. He does TED Talks. He's huge in the philosophy, and he's been Tony's best friend since they were on the Bones Brigade. And hearing him talk, I love. Plus, he has a weird cadence to his voice.
Yeah.
And then hearing all of his peers that were there with him and the guys to follow, they go, you know what's crazy is we're all beat up, but none of us are beat up as Tony is. Tony's had more injuries and more serious injuries, and all of them breaking his pelvis to everything. And they're like, when they show you, holds, I guess, quote unquote, the record for the most moves created. He's got 100 moves that he was credited with creating over. That's why he's broke everything. He tried it all. The 900 was him, everything. And it gets you a newfound respect, and everybody's like, what's great about and scary about Tony is when he tries something new and he doesn't hit it, you see as like, here's his worldview, and then he tries it again and doesn't hit it, and it shrinks, and it shrinks, and it shrinks, and it shrinks, until he sees nothing, doesn't see you, doesn't see anything, sees the move.
And they show him for like hours and hours just working on a move.
The 900, especially, yeah. Huh. And he goes, literally, he would do that move until he had to be taken out on a stretcher. And then, so when he hit it in the competition, it was like a big deal because no one had ever landed it in competition. There'd been rumors people had landed it, and it's just.
It seemed like on the competition too. They just let him do it and do it and do it until he got it.
I watched it live. They said they're like the old cliche. How can you not be romantic about baseball? From Billy Bean. It's like, how could you not love skateboarding either? Because no other sport. When he hit the 900 in competition, the time had expired. It was best trick.
Yeah.
They had like 90 minutes. Just 12 skaters just going out and trying every trick. At the end of the competition, the best trick overall won. The other skaters just stepped back and let him for the last 5-6 minutes try it. Time expired. ESPN stayed on live. They stayed on it and watched it until he hit it, and they didn't even bother going to the scorecards. They just gave him the award right there. And it was like, no, that'd be like at the end of the football game, well, this game's so great, let's just let it keep going.
Oh, like Tin Cup?
Yeah.
Against the Eagle?
But I tell you what, for me, it might not be a 5, but I think it's about a 4.5 out of 5.
I'll give it about the same.
I'll go with the coward's way of saying 5.
Yeah, there you go.
It's on HBO Max, and it's well worth watching. And I'm going to take your segue for my next topic, and this is just something I'm excited about. We're going to have family movie night Saturday, and guess what we're watching?
What are you watching?
The Batman on HBO Max this weekend.
Is it already out?
It comes out this weekend on HBO Max.
Damn,
they pushed it up.
Yeah, they pushed it up, but they only pushed it up a day.
Yeah.
But still, I'm super excited. It'll be my second time watching it. I'll see if I feel like it's long. I have a theory about why people think it's long. It is long, but all the people are like, well, I liked it, but it felt long. Well, it's because you knew how long it was going into it.
Justice League felt long.
Justice League felt painfully. There's that Snyder cut. It took me 3 days to watch it,
Yeah.
Batman I did not feel bad watching Batman.
No.
I loved it.
I'm excited because I haven't seen it.
Yeah. What about you?
so good.
What you got?
Okay, so
Poop culture world.
The poop culture world. I guess we'll start off with HBO Max. Goddamn, Winning Time is so good.
I haven't watched this week's episode yet.
All right, we won't talk about that. Yeah. I started watching your pirate show.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
Have you watched What We Do in the Shadows?
No, but I've always been interested.
Okay.
Here's my problem.
I would suggest you don't.
Okay.
If you don't like it. It's completely Taika Waititi sense of humor.
Well, it's fine. All right, here was my problem, and I'm going to sound like a huge homophobe here. Is everybody gay on the ship? Like
on his ship?
Yeah, I think everybody's gay.
Almost.
I just wish, like, as it started kind of going down that path, I'm like, is it that hard just to have two guys just be buddies? Because it was like, this is a good, cute little. It was like Beard and lasso, and I loved it. Like, this is great. And then it's like, oh, now they got romantic feelings for each other.
That's kind of the point of the show. And as you go, you'll see hetero relationships really spring up by the end of it.
So I'm not done with it. I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's probably not my humor. But
have you ever watched Flight of the Conchords?
I bailed on that show
very
quickly.
It's
all the same.
Yeah.
This sense of humor, it's okay if it's not yours, but for those of us that love it, it's like it's the purest form of it in this show. Back to your winning time. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it this week, but have you heard the criticisms from the people in the inner circle of that Lakers run?
Well, so I read the book, and they do. See, the thing is, like, it's a show. Like, you have to hit the emotional.
Well, there's one point in particular that everybody is focused on. That is the detractors.
All right, what's that?
And that's Jerry West. They say it's completely not Jerry West. It is not.
But see, the thing, yes, they said that after the first episode, but like they've really mellowed out Jerry West, like as the show has gone on, and so.
And I'm going to, I think he was so over the top in the first one.
Yeah, he was so angry and like motherfucking people.
And come across as dumb. He come across as a bit of a kind of a doofus who doesn't deserve to be there.
Yes, I agree. He's been much more well-rounded character.
And I will say this: I'm going to. I stand before you and I flip-flop. That's a line from The Simpsons, the mayor, Quimby. I said I didn't buy Adrian Brody as Pat Riley. Until I saw a picture of that era of Jerry West and Pat Riley sitting next to each other, and I go, well, I take it back. Adrian Brody looks like Pat Riley.
I think he is the second best performance on the show right now. I'm really excited about Paul Westphal, a.k.a. who I did not know who that was until I read the book, but Jason Segel apparently just is playing him perfectly too. Yeah. But I don't know who that is. I mean, I know Pat Riley. We all know Pat Riley is.
Yeah.
But
saw a really great article on Jason Segel today about leaving. He left Hollywood after a couple of movies, and after How I Met Your Mother ended, he moved out of Hollywood and moved to like middle of nowhere USA in small town. He goes, I just like going to my local restaurant and getting a sandwich and chilling and not being bothered. And I gotta tell you, he's quietly had a pretty damn good career, like making choices like this, from rom-coms to this movie, then obviously his Apatow stuff.
He is a poor man's Paul Rudd. Everybody loves Jason Segel, right?
Yeah, I think they do. And I think...
by the end of the How I Met Your Mother, which I think we've discussed on the show how badly that ended, he was by far the only character and actor I just didn't want to fucking murder.
White Chocolate. Yeah. He was the best.
He was the best.
And he
plays the same character every time.
Yeah. And I've watched a lot, through the pandemic and working from home, I've seen a lot of independent films that he's done, and he's a delight in those.
Yeah.
But he has been a different character.
Is he married?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, like, he's been a different character. Like, he's been the creepy asshole in, like, Knocked Up.
Yeah.
He played the really greasy, lecherous guy. I think in this one...
But, like, he's just playing himself, but slightly off. Well, I don't want to shit on the guy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's a good actor.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll agree with you that he does seem... I think he's got deceptive range. You don't realize that he's doing something a little different because it feels like him.
Oh, I mean,
like Bill Murray. Bill Murray's got... He's great, but he's got sneaky range, too.
And nobody gave him credit until the Japanese movie that's overrated, but he still acted his balls off.
Oh, yeah.
Lost in Translation.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dracula's Lament. When he played the little piano with the song. Perfect. Yeah. Great. The show is getting better.
By the way, an underrated rom-com right there.
Very underrated. It's...
Of course, we're talking for people that didn't catch it, the reference, if they didn't, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yes.
Which that song was something he created on his own.
He created the whole play. Yeah. The whole play is a play that he actually did, and they were like, we got to put it in the movie.
I'm also excited. I forget the actor's name. Ready for one. Plays Barksdale in The Wire, showing up as Spencer Haywood. Player.
I can't think of his name. Remember the Titans.
Yes, he's also Remember the Titans. No, it's just been great. The other show that I finished and...
Mix it up?
That's fine. Jay, have you watched Severance?
I have not.
Okay. The finale was this weekend, or I guess, Friday. It came out a day early.
Amazing reviews.
It was phenomenal. And it was one of those things where it's a 9-episode season, and I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, wow, that's a great way to set the finale. And then like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Another sneaky, great actor, Adam Scott.
Yes.
Great in everything he does.
And
comedy, serious, romantics, rom-coms.
And Ben Stiller was one of the head writers and creators of the show, and then he was on, as I think we all have mutual love for this podcast, Fly on the Wall.
Yeah, I didn't listen to this week's yet.
It's Stiller, or no, it's Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows, yeah.
Tim Meadows, they put him over big time, and
people loved him. The comedy community loved Tim Meadows.
Yeah, he told, like, they were, one big thing about that show that I love is, like, all right, so how did you get past, like, how did you get your first sketch pushed? And he's like, well, I got kind of lucky because it was Sarah Silverman never got anything through, which is heartbreaking because of how famous and funny she is.
Yeah, because you don't even realize she was on the show first.
Exactly. I mean, I remember she was on because she was like featuring Sarah Silverman. Yeah, but like,
and every once in a while you'd see her.
Yeah. And Ben Stiller, I completely forgot he was on the show.
What? Yeah.
And he quit and
Janine Garofalo too, and that whole era.
Yeah,
they all went over to his show.
Yeah, and Bob Odenkirk wrote for the show and all that. And with Tim Meadows, he's like, it was actually my second skit he ever wrote, got on, and I totally forgot about the skit, and I could not find it on Google. But do you remember? I remember the skit when he talked about it. He plays Cyrano, which is like the character who's like got the long nose.
Yep.
And he's doing the Barry White voice for Alec Baldwin. Was like, yeah, baby, I'm just gonna give it to you like this. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, that was a great skit. And he's so then he wrote another skit that I remember that was hilarious. I can't remember right now. And Lauren was like, so who helped you write the script? And Tim Meadows like, I wrote it by myself. I was like, Like, didn't believe Tim Meadows actually wrote the skit, so he's like, I'm going to partner you with somebody anyway. And like, I love how everybody has a Lauren. And
is Tim Meadows the comedy version of Don Cheadle? You know, Don Cheadle is a serious actor.
That sounds racist.
But he's been, honestly though, he was the black guy that was in a lot of movies and was respected among his peers, but never really caught hope. Tim Meadows seemed like he was the guy that was along for the ride in SNL. All of his comedic brothers loved him, but the fans never pushed him to the forefront of his own starring features and stuff.
Well, did you watch Ladies Man? Because that was pretty bad.
I haven't seen the movie.
It's not bad.
I haven't seen the movie.
I love the skits, but the movie...
I did watch the movie. I didn't hate it, but again, you know, he never got like a... That was, I mean, I know it's his racist seeming on the surface, but I think it's a pretty solid comparison that these guys have been well liked for a long time. They're the kind of guys, both of them, you're like, before he became roadie and before he got, and even had a great shows on Showtime, but it was, honestly, they were both kind of guys, oh yeah, I like him in that. That guy's always good.
I don't know, I see him more as Kenan Thompson.
God, everybody's so racist.
Well, Kenan Thompson is like, I guess
every white receiver is like, everybody's like so.
McCaffrey,
Jordy Nelson out there.
Kenan Thompson like took the foundation that Tim Meadows gave and like tripled it. Tripled it.
So I went down a rabbit hole of like Saturday Night Live because I think one of the reasons that grown men like ourselves love wrestling is like we just love the backstage stories behind it.
Yeah.
And the only other thing really in pop culture that's like that. It's Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was going down through SNL interviews as I was driving around today for work, and I heard this story I've never heard before. Norm tell about Chris Farley. Mm-hmm. So it was, I forget, Norm was after that crew of Sandler, Farley, and Spade. So that year they had a weekend where they would all just like go get wasted together. Mm. And Chris Farley tells Norm's like, hey, man, I want you to meet me in my cabin. I got a secret for you, but you can't tell anybody. And Norm's like, okay. Like, and he didn't know Chris really at all.
Yeah.
So he goes to his cabin. He's like, all right, man, I swear you cannot tell anybody this. Norm's like, all right, man. Like, he's like, this is pretty cool. Like, Chris Farley trusts me. He's like, I think Pat's a woman. It just sold it like dead serious, and he just said that was the funniest thing ever. And then he also apparently later got hammered and was like, hey, I could do impressions too, guys. I'm a salad. Got butt naked and started sticking Roman tomatoes up his ass.
Wow. Yeah, he was when was Sandler on SNL? What was his years?
92 to 96 probably.
Yeah, and so
I don't even think it was that long.
Norm was 93 to 98. So they all kind of overlapped in that period.
Yeah, because Farley was in Dirty Work with Norm.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It was more, maybe, was it 91 and 94 with Sandler? Sandler and Farley got fired.
Yeah, and Chris Rock.
Oh, I didn't know
Chris Rock got fired fast, too.
Yeah.
And Norm got fired because Lauren didn't think he was funny. Didn't
Well,
No.
he got heat from upper management about the OJ jokes.
Yeah, we heard eventually that it was stuff like that, but the reason was that I didn't get you. Because for years, Norm thought, well, Lauren just doesn't think I'm funny is why I got fired, and then it finally started coming around. Norm is, in the pantheon of comedy, like maybe still underrated, and when he died, obviously a lot of love came out there, but quietly one of the funniest guys, like
he was the comics comic when I wrote his little eulogy on Facebook. Like they all speak of it. Like I'll tell you another guy who I don't know if you guys have noticed this on the show, but like Carvey puts over Bill Hader a lot.
Yeah,
and a lot of guys like Bill Hader.
Hader's real. Like I think the funniest skit in the last 10 years, of SNL, were the Bill Hader puppet skits.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
By the way, the trailer for Barry season 3 is out. Ooh, it looks good. I can't wait.
See, I always like the Stefan stuff, and knowing the fact that he had no clue what was coming, made it so much better.
Who was it?
That was Mulaney.
Mulaney.
Yeah,
Mulaney, who's
because they wrote together and they'd write all these, and then he'd go back and change them before they went on air.
Mulaney, arguably the best host in the last 3 to 5 years of the show.
It's either him or Ham, right?
Yeah, and both are really accepted by everyone. Well, Mulaney was there.
Yeah, he was there.
What?
So
no Elon Musk.
Yeah, or Steven Seagal, notoriously the worst host.
I feel like well, Musk has got like Asperger's, right?
Yeah,
Musk is.
I didn't think his was that bad, but
it was fine.
Yeah,
the Wario skit.
Yeah, there was. You know what though? Here's the deal with Musk, is in the viral video highlight that has become everything that is consumed on social media. His didn't produce at least one really solid one, and therefore, he's bad.
Yeah.
But like even the guys, even Carvey and Spade will tell you, there's some really bad episodes of SNL out there that people just don't remember because it was pre-internet time, and like everybody says, the best season of the best years of SNL was when you were in high school. Yes. And even then, though, remember, there's a greatest hits for a reason, because a lot of those episodes had a couple of cow turd sketches on them, too.
Yeah.
I think, the Golden Age, I know, obviously, it fits right into Lauren's trap, but that 86 to 93 run where, God, how many famous writers came out of that?
Yeah.
I didn't know until recently Jack Haney was a real person.
Yeah, you thought he was just the guy. Yeah. Well, and even, what's his name?
And also I didn't know the head writer. You remember the principal in... Billy Madison was the head writer for years. I forget what his real name is.
Smigel.
Robert Smigel.
It's not Smigel.
That wasn't Smigel, but Robert Smigel was another one that I thought was a fake guy when, Insult the Comic Dog. I was like, it sounds like a made-up name.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was an anagram
and
or
he did
something.
the Mulaney Hader thing where he would write jokes and pass them to Norm sitting on the desk.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Norm could do that. Norm did that to people on his show. Norm write their jokes.
He would tell jokes just to bomb, just to, sell it. Just didn't give a fuck.
He might be one of my favorite Weekend Update hosts.
Yeah, he's up there. Probably, Dennis Miller gets a lot of, and for good reason.
Yeah.
He was he was also super smart, and I loved him at the time, and that was when he was still a Democrat, before he turned Republican. And he did it by himself. He didn't need help.
Yeah.
All right, top 3 Weekend Update hosts for everybody.
All right. For me,
okay.
Dennis Miller
Would not be in mine, okay?
Kevin Nealon
Would be in mine.
Yeah.
and I've never been a massive Jimmy Fallon fan, so I know a lot of people love him. I'll have to come back on the third. I got to really think about third. I'd love to say, Aykroyd and Hooks, but
You're not mentioning the guy that we just talked about?
Norm. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Norm. His window was so short, it seems, because of how he left, but it wasn't. He was on there for a while.
Yeah, I think he had 3
He was on
solid.
there Norm. And for me, Norm probably actually is at the top of that list. It would go Norm, Miller, Nealon for me.
I like Norm, Nealon, and I really like Colin Jost and Michael Che.
He doesn't.
I think they suck.
He doesn't. And
I love it when they trade jokes.
Yeah, I think they're great on that.
I think my thing with Michael Che is he's just a bad person.
Yeah.
Just a dick.
I know that
he goes after like comedians who he's very defensive about people thinking he's not funny. Where I think Kyle Gross would laugh that off.
I've heard some stand-up say that he's been difficult on shows.
Yeah,
I got one of my throw it to Missy topics as a stand-up comic story here.
So the guy I think we're forgetting about, and not, I mean, I would probably have Tina by my fourth.
Yeah,
my third would be Seth Meyers.
Yeah. Seth Meyers is a good one. You know what? The reason he doesn't stay on my list is because that's when I wasn't tuned in.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, if we're going by who's tuned in, I mean, I thought Colin
Quinn.
Well, Quinn always got.
I was going to say he's a deep cut.
So Colin Quinn for me is another guy that was probably brilliant. I didn't watch it enough. I really watched Colin Quinn on his shows after he left.
Yeah, his Comedy Central show.
Unfortunately for Colin, I think he's the Tino Martinez sometimes of the Weekend Updates.
Yeah. He just came in at the wrong time.
A better person because Tino Martinez apparently is a huge douchebag.
Really? I didn't know that either. Makes sense.
They didn't release Tino because of the bad play. They released him because he was a dick in the dugout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Was he a dick here?
Yeah. That's why they got rid of him.
Oh, I thought you meant the Yankees did originally, and then he came here and was a dick.
No.
He came here and he was a Yankee, Mr. Multiple World Series winner.
He got paid $7 million a year, and actually, he's probably the last big free agent position player the Cardinals went out and got.
Technically, it'd be Matt Holliday because he was a free agent, and he was out there for a few months before we signed him.
But he was a sign and trade, or no, I guess he wasn't. But he was on our roster though.
Yeah, we traded for him. He became a free agent. He sat out there for months, and then we signed him.
Yeah.
We negotiated against ourselves to get him.
Yeah, and ran Albert off because of how much we paid him.
Yeah.
Do you find it ironic? Not to
I don't know, Atlantis.
Not to punch down on someone with cancer, but do you find it ironic that the bad guy and Albert leaving through the media was his wife, who
she was very vocal.
She was very vocal about leaving St. Louis and how disrespectful. So when he comes back, he divorces her.
Yeah, There's gonna be interesting to see if that ever comes out.
Well, she already addressed it. The divorce was in process before she went into surgery and before she found out what was going on.
So somebody be stepping out, right?
Well, I mean, he's the machine. Yeah, go out there and slay the poon out there in L.A.,
Yeah.
As Chris Rock elegantly said, a man's only as loyal as his options.
That's right. Albert Pujols has the options.
Which I did get sent a Funny or Die video of old Childish Gambino doing Tiger Woods. He fucks bitches.
Yeah, that's good. I love
that. That was a great sketch.
Donald Glover had a lot of great sketches on SNL. Like I'm thinking of I swear I'm not racist, but I was thinking of Chance the Rapper when he was on SNL doing his play-by-play for the e-gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
So just real quick, because this is definitely not a golf talk podcast. Masters this weekend.
That's worth talking about.
And I was driving around. I did a lot of driving this week with work, and I'm like, all right, there's a podcast that I downloaded like 3 years ago. I think it's the Barstool's golf podcast, and I wanted to listen to something to just kind of get me in the mood for the Masters. And it was not great. But what really just drove me crazy, grinding my gears, if you will. They kept calling Tiger Cat. Like they were cute and funny. I think Cat's gonna do this weekend. Oh yeah, Cat, man. I think he's gonna make the cut. I'm like, what a fucking dorks.
Well, I don't like Barstool anyway. So
spitting chiclets is okay.
Yeah,
making the cut was all I needed from Tiger this weekend.
Yeah,
and I'm glad he made the cut.
I hate the Masters Sunday. I was so pumped. Weather was gonna look good. Smoked a brisket, I can't
whatever reason when he said smoked, I was thinking, really, smoked a doobie and watched the Masters?
It's sweet. One of life's sneaky good pleasures for me is back nine on a major on a Sunday. It's nice outside. Put the windows open. You're drinking. You're watching golf. But besides Rory coming back, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you this: in golf, I like a good victory lap. Even though I do like close games and when it's coming down the wire, I don't think there's anything as exciting as watching a player going through the back nine of the Masters or any major when they've got a commanding lead, because then it's just celebration
I am too. I like it when it's.
I love close games, but man, I tell you what, when Tiger walks up on the 18th hole in the last Masters that he won, and he's got the lead, if people are going nuts, I love that.
Like if I could set up anything, it would be back nine, 4 guys I've heard of, each of a major. Every one of them has a major. Within a stroke of each other, fighting it out in their last 9. That's good shit.
With someone like a Rory shooting up.
Or a DeChambeau against Koepka.
That would be awesome, too.
Even though they've buried the hatchet, which is bullshit. I thought golf was better with them being angry at each other. Like, when they were vocally angry at each other, it was better.
Was it the last majors where Brooks was sitting there doing an interview?
He walked by in his metal cleats.
Yeah. Talking about how I don't know how the other guys are doing it, and
DeChambeau
Bryson
walks by,
and he goes like, "We hit it straight," but you hear click, click, click.
Yeah,
he's like, "Fuck, I hate that guy."
Yeah, he gets mad at him on air, and
that's good. They need to show personality.
Well, and you know what? The metal cleats things, they're banned at a lot of places now, but Bryson refuses to go plastic. Or sneakers, the new sneaker style, which are way more comfortable.
And you went to the PGA, right? Did you do it?
Yeah, I went to here. Yeah.
Did you get to go?
I went to a World Golf Championship in 2001.
I followed Koepka.
How'd that work out for you?
We were on the course when all the planes hit.
Were you? Okay.
Oh, I'll be darned.
It sucked too because my best friend worked in the Pentagon. He got transferred out a week before, and I hadn't talked to him. Ooh. So when the planes hit, I'm like, I couldn't get a hold of him for a few days. He got transferred down a week before, and it hit his office.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Talk about good luck.
Yeah.
That is some good luck
Seth
there.
MacFarlane overslept his flight?
Yeah. So I followed Koepka around at both practice and in the tournament because I just felt like watching him tee off in the driving range. Mm-hmm. And then also I like Koepka because he's a big guy in golf standards. And following him around, it's like, I think this guy's going to win this. And I'll be goddamn if he didn't go out there and win it.
So, like, my guy now or one of my guys I cheer for is John Rahm, because he basically almost hit into us on 17. And, like, could not have been nicer and chiller and cooler. And
well, I also forget that I am best friends with Phil Mickelson because he high-fived me.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So I am best friends with Phil.
He sounds like a good human being.
Yeah. He's not aging well in golf.
Well, he won a major last year.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about he's kind of blackballed
right blackballed,
now with his stance on Dubai and all that stuff. Yeah,
it's interesting, man.
Hard take to sell. But anyway, let's. Hey, look, I don't care how long we're going. We've typically been in an hour and a half, but let's at least go to the next topic that Jay brought.
All right, I watched Bad Rap. It was the Asian rap documentary that came out. I think it was 2016.
Anybody famous in that?
Aquafina.
Okay.
But it was very interesting to see in the Asian perspective of rap and how they don't really get a shot and how the male Asian rappers really didn't like Aquafina because they felt she got preference because she was female.
Huh. Yeah. Female, she's been accused of, racial appropriations and stuff like that. She did. The only negative thing I'll say about Aquafina, because I have enjoyed her acting in multiple movies.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I had to watch it without Missy because we all know Missy's racist towards Asian.
Yeah.
But Crazy Rich
Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians was a good movie, and she was great in it.
Yeah.
She was great in Shang-Chi. And so I will say this, though. Now that she's got Uber fame, she speaks less ghetto.
Yeah.
And that's the criticism that she's been getting throughout her career is that she is faking the accent. That said, I find her very entertaining. So.
She is. And that was one of the things they pointed out is she knew how to get people to talk about her. None of the other people on the documentary did. And I didn't heard any of them. And I haven't seen anything they've ever done.
Well, I'm trying to look up the ones that I know. And I only know one, and it shows you how great I know because I can't remember his... Oh, Dumbfounded. Yeah. I don't know if he was on there, but I love Dumbfounded.
No, and they didn't have, Lyrics Found, who I know of. He worked with Black Alicious a lot.
Yeah, he's like the number 2 on the most famous Asian rapper list.
And then...
Dumbfounded's 3, but I know him.
I'm dumbfounded by this conversation.
Yeah.
Dan the Automator. They didn't talk to him at all either.
Oh, yeah. Well, some guys don't get... credit as being guys that have been accepted in here for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're not really Asian. They've been here for so long.
Yeah,
making music. Or like the Neptunes.
Yeah,
so which I know Pharrell Williams is not Asian, but I can't remember the Asian guy's name.
Yeah.
But he was a part of the Neptunes, so that's a big deal. I watched there was something. I watched Bad Vegan because I found the story interesting. It's about a woman, and I don't think the documentary accurately portrays what actually happened with this woman. I think they do get to it. So she owned what was the most popular vegan restaurant in the world. Like celebrity over celebrity went there. Her staff loved her. They were diehard into her. And she fell in love with a guy that convinced her that he could grant her immortality through this cult leader. So she started stealing money from her restaurant and funneling it all to this guy. She got arrested. And she's super pretty. Super pretty. She's a dime piece. But it makes you want... I don't think that that's actually what she was doing. I think she was going along with it, and she was going to... Because it turned out the restaurant was super, super in debt. Mm-hmm. And I think she was just going to steal the money anyway, and she was going to find her a scapegoat. They don't really go into that much, but it feels like she's smart enough to know better, because she borrowed a lot of money. It was a restaurant in New York, for fuck's sakes.
I know there's a tube steak joke there somewhere.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's on Netflix, and I know it sounds... I read her Wikipedia entry before I watched the documentary because I heard about I saw the documentary on Netflix. I was like, well, this piqued my curiosity. I read about it. I go, well, now I have to watch it because originally it was promising her dog immortality. Then it was promising her immortality. I was like, well, I've got to see how this plays out. But there's so she was so good at her job, or the restaurant itself, that a bunch of her employees went on to become famous chefs and like making hot sauces and things like that. And so it's pretty good. Nice. I give it like a 3.5, 3.75. What about you? What's next for you?
She didn't go the Allison Mack route?
No. I was wondering that. Yeah. She got arrested for embezzlement, and she's gone. She went up the river for a little while. She might not be up there anymore. I don't know. She's like, for me, she's like that. What's that? I know I mispronounced it. Like that Theranos girl. What's her name? The female Bill Gates that turned out could not really deliver on the medical machines.
No clue.
Nope.
Oh my God! You guys don't know who this woman is?
No.
You go ahead with your topic, and I'll look her up.
Well, I think last time I was on the show, I was talking about Jeff Pearlman, the writer who did Winning Time or Showtime, and then also did the sequel, The Three Ring Circus with Kobe. And so I did also read his book, The Boys Will Be Boys, about the 90s Cowboys. I finished that, and Skip Bayless is a horrible person. I know that's not probably news breaking.
Shocker.
I hate Skip Bayless.
I did not know, I knew he was a columnist for the Dallas Morning News, but he wrote a book about the season the Cowboys won their first Super Bowl under Barry.
Yeah.
So I guess the only one under Barry, because Jimmy won too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Basically accuses Troy Aikman of being gay in the book and had no repercussions.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the one you're reading now?
Finished it.
Okay.
Yeah. God, I mean, if you all three of those books are great. I mean, honestly, if you're going to start with one of the books, or Jeff Pearlman, I've read 4 now. The one I would start with would be the Showtime, what's going on the show right now. And I've even gone back and read chapters after the episode airs just to be like, what kind of really happened? Fantastic. And Barry Switzer, he was bad. Really
we
bad.
talked about that the last episode you were on, that he was not a good guy.
No.
Neither was Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, was definitely. It seems like this is why I love Jurgen so much. And I get it. Coaches start feeding into their own egos and start thinking they walk on water. And even though it's in pro sports, honestly, if you don't got the horses, you ain't winning fucking shit.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert. That's one of the reasons Pat Riley left the Lakers. He thought he was better than. And they couldn't fucking stand him anymore, and they fired him. Jimmy got an ego. As far as any other shows I'm watching right now, I don't think there's anything. I was really shocked that Severance was over with. I will finish your pirate show. That chick,
Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos. You guys don't know the Theranos story? You got to read this shit. So she was...
I'm a country bumpkin.
The youngest self-made billionaire of any woman in history.
Wait, is this the is Amanda Seyfried doing a show on this? All right.
So she quote unquote invented a way of doing like rapid result at home blood tests. And then they contracted She got $1 billion. It was all lies. She was fabricating the results and everything. Wow. And she's in trouble. But she dressed like Steve Jobs in the black turtleneck. And to this day, she still claims that she didn't do anything, but she ripped off to the tune of billions of dollars of the world. Maybe the most successful con artist of all time.
Oh, I know something.
What's that?
Christian Bale, I guess, is going to be in the new Thor movie. That's kind of cool, right?
He's War the God Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Is that guy cool? Or?
Oh, yeah. It's a good story.
Yeah, it was a really good story.
Taika Waititi directed it.
I have no problem. He does a great job as Blackbeard. The episode where they go in and, what's his name? Nuts is in there. They go to the French place for the pompous party. Hilarious episode.
Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll. The Nigerian prince, little jokes.
Here's a problem I have with the only problem I have with the show, and I have a lot of problems with everything. I'm a big fan of Anthony Jeselnik. Anthony Jeselnik
the best joke of all time.
Has an ongoing feud and hates Leslie Jones. So anytime I see Leslie Jones in anything, I automatically hate. It drops it down a notch for me.
What's the feud about?
So him and Leslie Jones have never got along, and Leslie Jones does stand up, but she's also known to be a throwback to the age where you could bump people just because you were famous, and she still does it. And he said it's one thing if you're more famous and you come and ask the guy or the other comic if you can
But she's a Ghostbuster.
Yeah. And Anthony goes hard. Actually, Anthony told a story, and he would not name her, but the internet named her. So the next episode of his podcast, he went hard at her. And he's like, I don't like her. I'll never fucking like her. And she's not a professional comic. She's not even a good comic. And he goes hard at her. And so she came. The last pop-up that happened was at the Comedy Store. She came in and bumped. Now, it's courtesy that if you are a bigger name, you go to the person that you're going to bump and you talk to them and see if it's okay. In comics, especially in this day and age, and the post-Rogan return to the Comedy Store.
How do you, give them a little... the comic store, do you get paid? Or is it just
if you're paid regular, you're not paid a lot. But you are if you're paid regularly.
But at the comic store, famous comedians show up all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I would think all right. So let's say Seinfeld comes and he's taking your set and you're getting paid $200. Is it customary? Hey man, can I take your spot and I'm gonna give you
I'll give you $500.
When you take a jersey.
I don't know. I don't know if they pay them or not, but they typically. It's not being a paid regular doesn't mean that you have to have your spot to get. You are allowed to come do your show. You're on you pick what night you return. So when a famous comic, because that's what the place is for come in, try new material.
Yeah.
So but a Seinfeld, who is a comic, comes in, goes to Anthony Jeselnik, said, "Hey Anthony, I got some new material I want to work out. Can I get 10 minutes before you?" He would say, "Yeah, no problem. Go ahead." Well, Leslie doesn't do that, and she's done it before to the Jeselnik. Well, this time it was so much. He said this was even worse. I would have rather her bumped me and not tell me. She sent just some waitress to go tell him Leslie's going to take 10 minutes, and he just lost his shit. And it wasn't even the Comedy Store. It was a show that he was paid. He was advertised to be there, so he left. He goes, "I'm not performing. If they're going to do it, I'm not performing." And he refunded everybody's money that came.
I would have sat in the crowd and heckled.
And he's very upset. And he's like, it's one thing for a comic to do that. It'd be another thing for a good comic, and she's not even a good comic. And he said some other things that I can't, regurgitate off the top of my head. But she's been. I don't find her as funny as other women that have come from SNL. Again, one-trick pony to me.
She's a one-trick pony. The trick is not bad, though.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy her, nor did I. I mean, honestly, and I know it's hard to say this in the world we live in, but the only redeemable quality to the Ghostbuster movie for me was Chris Hemsworth. To the female Ghostbuster movie. He's fucking hilarious in that.
He was probably the best part. I didn't mind it.
I didn't.
But I didn't hate it. But
it wasn't thing that stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
I remember him. He's hilarious in it. But and I know Paul Feig had a fit that they've released a special edition of complete all Ghostbusters movies in one 4K Blu-ray. they didn't put that one in. He's like, well, sorry, buddy, it's not really part of canon.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have Bill Murray, doesn't have any of them. So, so she, and you're right, Anthony Jeselnik, what was you said he has the best joke of all time.
The Eric Clapton joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Anthony's jokes are really, really good.
That clumsy little lad.
Yeah.
There's,
There's a lot of layers to that joke. First, you got to know who Eric Clapton is.
Yeah.
Not a given anymore.
Yeah. He also, his joke that got him in trouble on Comedy Central, the Boston Marathon joke.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
He said, the bomber hit the Boston Marathon this past week, and proving that there's just some lines that you shouldn't cross. And they cut the episode and didn't allow him back for a few years.
So good.
Yeah. He actually, the state of New Jersey hates him. He doesn't do shows there because apparently some kid from New Jersey died in a surfing accident to which a shark attacked him, and he equated it, and it was around the time the dancing shark in the Super Bowl halftime show. And I can't remember the joke, but he had like a great joke about it on his episode of the Jeselnik offensive.
Yeah.
And so the city of New Jersey wrote, like, the entire state of New Jersey had like a petition with 100,000 signatures to remove him from TV. He goes, guess you won't be getting the gift of my stand-up anymore. But what else you got?
I watched Vacation Friends today. That was the John Cena.
Oh, that's a good one.
It wasn't bad.
Have you watched it?
I have not.
It's a good show. Jim Bender likes it.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
I was surprised by it. I didn't expect it to go the way it went.
Who's the main guy in it? Not Cena, but the I can't remember. But he's all. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun.
Oh, is it? Is it Hannibal?
Yes.
No, it's not
Hannibal. It's one of the other black guys.
We've already established they all look the same. So
Jesus.
Got it. While you're looking it up, I'll real quick tell you my stand-up story I was going to tell you. I don't know if you guys are aware, but T.I. has been...
Lil Ray Howery.
Oh, yeah. Lil Ray. From Get Out and things like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Get Out. He was in Free Guy. He was Buddy.
That's right. Real quick, T.I.'s been doing stand-up. He's trying to get into a world stand-up, and people say he's kind of funny, but... He ran the light by 20 minutes so much that they had to come and tap him on the shoulder at the Comedy Store last week. And some woman made a reference to him and his wife in a stand-up show. Like, she was introducing them, and she made a joke about their sexual assault allegation on their, swinging. And he came out and started bitching at her. And at first she was like kind of, acquiescing and letting it go. And then finally she goes, motherfucker, this is actually my stage. This is my arena. Fuck you. And she goes back at him hard, and T.I. loses his shit, so the crowd boos him off the stage.
Oh.
So so he's been getting booed a lot because he's been appearing on the bills of some rap shows, but he hasn't been letting the crowds know that he's coming there to do a stand-up. And they are not digging it. But anyway.
They're verbally smacking him.
That's right.
There you go.
What do you got? What about that? So Vacation Friends. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it's...
John Cena's wife is hot.
In that movie? Absolutely. Yeah.
But his boyfriend's out, too.
No.
You should watch it. I think you'd dig it.
Yeah. After Peacemaker, anything John Cena, you say...
Have you watched Blockers?
I've watched parts of it.
He's hilarious in it.
I got one for you.
All right.
Speaking of rom-coms, The Lost City or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The
Sandra Bullock.
Apparently it's getting good reviews.
Yeah, it did.
And I'll tell you who its biggest endorsement was, and something I didn't know existed. My buddy Dusty, friend of the show, he turned me on to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Substack.
Yeah.
He's got a Substack, and his weekend one coming out of the weekend is not, it's all about pop culture. It's not...
So what's a Substack?
It's a new subscription page to...
mail list.
Yeah, mail list, or you get their newsletter every week. Well, Kareem's got, yes, he has a political and spiritual one, but he also has one on Mondays. It's his weekend review where he does a movie, a music, a book, something like 4 to 5 things that he enjoyed, including Warren Ellis comic books.
Really?
It's his favorite, one of his favorite writers.
Does he talk about Winning Time at all?
He not that I've seen so far, but he reviewed. He's, in Kareem's words, he goes, and it may surprise people that I'm a big fan of rom-coms. He goes, they've been, over the last few years, they've been replaced by the buddy comedy, which is essentially the same thing, except the 2 main figures are friends. He goes, but if you just want some lighthearted fun, there is absolutely no reason that you should ever avoid this movie. It's a delight. I laughed. I enjoyed all the performances. Like, hey, if Kareem's in, I'm fucking in. You know?
I want to see it based off the trailer that was
alone.
Before Batman.
Yeah. Brad Pitt is in it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Why are you so good looking? My dad was a weatherman.
Is that the one where Harry Potter's the bad guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Has he shed off Harry Potter yet? You don't call him
I
Harry
don't think
Potter?
so.
He's been in a lot. Well, I don't think he wants to shed it. I think he embraces that he's Harry Potter, but he's
not running away from it. But
He hasn't gone Harrison Ford on
But
it.
he did that one movie, Two Guns, which was fucking great.
Yeah.
Where
Akimbo.
Kimbo, Guns
Yeah.
Akimbo.
Yeah.
Where the guns were bolted to his hands.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got to murder a bunch of people.
And that movie where he's like the dead body.
That's a good one.
He's
Him
done.
and Paul Dano, who played Riddler.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that was him. Yeah, he's done a good job.
He's getting close.
He does a lot of quirky things though, so that I think that's what makes him stand out.
There's a rom-com with I can't remember the girl's name. You'd know her by looks, but it's on Amazon Prime. It's like What Now? That's a good independent rom-com. A little more on the seriousness, but understated jokes.
Yeah.
He's very good at that.
Okay.
He's very good at that. Check it out.
Take it out now.
You got anything else? You've got anything before we close up? Let's go.
I normally go to a comic book since Tom's here. I read the Young Bucks autobiography.
I have a signed copy, sadly.
Do you really? Yeah. I got it for Christmas from my wife. So
you mentioned it on the show last week.
yeah, I hadn't finished it.
But you hadn't finished, yeah.
It was really good. It was an interesting look at independent wrestling and how they make absolutely nothing. Because even when they were getting big, they were getting like $200 a match.
Yeah.
And they'd have to travel across the country to do all these matches. And you see in BTE, like, we've been awake for 46 hours and we're wrestling a match and we're going to sleep for 3 hours and get back on a plane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give the Bucks and Cody credit. They, I bet Danhausen probably makes 50 or 60 a year.
Yeah.
But he's on the road 250 nights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's finally getting some pay.
Yeah.
You got the AEW checks rolling in, which are...
But
Let's see this thing goes with Hook. I don't know if I'm going to...
Yeah. Hey, you know what, though? It'd be a good... The good news is that it's a program Hook's in.
Yeah.
The QT Marshall one fell flat.
yeah.
And it was boring.
It was the natural progression for where you want to go with Hook.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Where do you want Hook to be a year from now?
I mean, he needs stories. I just think QT Marshall sucks at everything he's involved in.
I disagree. I think he is a perfect low-card heel.
No,
Yeah.
I don't mind him being a low-card heel. I just didn't find anything about it. And
it's a foregone conclusion. You know where it's going to go, but...
And I know you're all in on Hook, and I think he's got some great matches. But I think that his gimmick wears thin if he doesn't...
If he doesn't say anything.
And so Danhausen could be what brings it out of him.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. The slow build within is gonna. I'm telling you, man. I'm putting a lot of. If Hook is a stock, am I buying a lot of Hook?
I'll tell you this. I'm gonna say it right now.
Go ahead.
I don't see Hook as a champ, a world champ, like ever. But he's also young.
Okay, but think about this, and we're a little bit wrestling nerds here. Do you see Hangman being a champ 8 years ago? Do you know who Hangman was?
Oh, yeah, I knew who he was. I didn't necessarily see him as champ, but also the only problem with that, I didn't see an organization like AEW
Sure,
being around.
fair
either,
enough. Yeah.
So.
I mean, Hook's what, 22?
Yeah, he's got room to go.
Oh, I think he's. Sometimes you got it, baby.
And you got to remember, Ricky Starks is like 36.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a lot older than people give him credit for.
By this time next
There's
year,
a lot of 35 and older wrestlers in AEW that people would be. In WWE, there's a lot of 40 and over. That
Cody's young for WWE.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, a year from now, a Hook versus Ricky Starks program for Taz's love. Woo,
And Taz's belt.
So that would be entertaining.
Yeah,
That
slow
would.
build.
But I don't think you can really say what he's going to be until he actually starts talking on the mic.
I also
I don't know, man.
I think the mystique is going to last for a little while.
So for me,
Goldberg, William.
Oh well, yeah, but so here's the thing.
It's a different age.
Hook does not. Here's the other thing. Hook's moveset. The thing with Goldberg's moveset, and the reason you could keep that going, is Goldberg could do that to 400-pound guys. Hook's moveset will not work
No.
on big guys. It's not gonna.
Well, sure, but
And so he's going to have
this isn't the land of giants either.
No, but he's going to, I mean, there's guys...
He ain't take much to throw fucking Adam Cole or Punk or Bryan.
That's accurate, but Hobbs and, and
Keith Lee.
It ain't going to work.
Yeah, Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, I'm not in on Keith Lee either. So
I love Keith Lee.
I like Keith Lee, and I liked him in NXT. I don't know. I don't see the end game here either. ROH.
Yeah, 100%.
But that goes back to a lot of the booking recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just felt like a lot of the booking is flat.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's the key is they bringing these guys in, and they've had a lot of big stories, and that pay-per-view or page one, everything after that has been a little...
So a year ago at this time, it was very exciting because they had a lot of good long-term stories, and it all felt homegrown. But then all of a sudden, WWE released a lot of people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they come in, and you get guys that get buried. Like, Brian Cage is okay.
He's okay at best.
Yeah. But he got buried very quickly.
By the time he was buried faster than... It was surprisingly faster, but considering that he's been over in other organizations, and you would have thought they could have found a way, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I would say...
He had a great match with Darby.
Yeah.
He had a great match with Hanger. And he's actually pretty charismatic when I've heard him on podcasts, but again, he's our age.
Yeah.
So he just didn't... Also, I don't think he really got over.
Yeah.
They tried to turn him face, and when you got a guy like Wardlow who's like 3 inches taller and has... Again,
I'll be honest with you, I don't know where that one's going either.
Oh, Wardlow...
I think he's got some work to do in the mic, but he's getting there.
I think so too, but I just, again, talking about the land of giants and where AEW is, he is a big guy in AEW. He was as a valet or a security or whatever.
They call it a heater.
A heater.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you see him being the heavyweight champion of the world, Wardlow?
Yes.
Oh, see, I don't.
Not yet.
Also, it is too much of a ripoff for me of Brock Lesnar, and it's not thinly like it's instead of Suplex City, it's Powerbomb City for him, and it's the same kind of squashes and
it's
wrestling is all about
he jumped from Virgil to Brock,
and he quick. Doesn't.
Well, no,
he's not Brock Lesnar. He does not have Brock Lesnar's talent.
It's Diesel. He's Diesel.
Yeah, could be. I could see that as Diesel, but also Kevin Nash was ungodly charismatic.
Yeah.
And I don't think Wardlow
would say, yes, he's definitely more... but Kevin Nash, you could argue, is top 15 most charismatic guys of all time.
And wrestling brains. And so anyway, we've talked about wrestling long enough. If we have nothing else, let's put the train in the station.
Well, hey, those St. Louis Blues are pretty much either going to be the number 2 or 3 seed in the Central.
What's the difference between a 2 or 3 right now for them? What do they got to do?
I don't even know.
They
can't catch Colorado, and they're too far ahead of the...
But I mean,
so it's like they're 5 or 6 seed is who they're playing.
No. I just know what I meant was like, is a 2 or 3 a big deal for 1, and 2, are they in danger of dropping to 3? Can they just coast?
So in hockey, there's 2 divisions in your conference, 1 through 3, and then the 2 wild cards can come from either conference,
right?
To kind of protect, if one division stinks and not screw somebody over. So they're not going to catch Colorado in their division. They're too far ahead of the wild card team, so they're either going to play the Wild at home or the Wild will have the advantage in the 7-game series.
We'd like to play the at home. Is what
that would be ideal.
Yeah.
So
when's this playoff start and how long?
First week of May.
Okay.
So probably looking at May 5th or 6th.
So we have how many games left?
Fuck, 8 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been pretty hot recently though.
They have compared to what they were like.
Yeah. Played some dog shit teams too.
That's okay. Yeah. It's good to finish on a high note no matter what.
Hey, the big thing is
high blue note.
High blue note. So yeah.
All right. What do you got? Anything else? So there is no bender.
No. Let's.
I'm saying. So
you didn't jump the gun.
We'll start off with you.
Let's go blue.
Because everyone's waiting for this bye.
Oh yeah. They just got to get through it to the. So I'm playing music by the way, and then we're done. So.